All right, so after a very long 8 hours at a different location that's an hour from where I live, I am finally at the gym parking lot. So it's not a good morning, it's a good evening because it's practically nighttime. If this was autumn or winter, it'd be blackout right now. So, fun fact, I actually made a video for yesterday, or this morning, mind you, but it was very short and almost pointless. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to add it in here. All right, so I can't talk very much because I have to get to work and I'm running really late. I'm not late for work. Keep in mind, I'm just running late for being early. So I have to, as you can see, I started the video with the workout as opposed to my good morning session. But sometimes it be like that, because we all have to work that 9 to 5 every now and again. And my protein's still not here. But anyways, I'll catch you guys later tonight when I am off of work. So I can't talk for long because my camera battery is about to die, and I actually took an early shift tomorrow because they asked for volunteers to go an hour away to help another place with some of their stuff. So I'm going to be going right to essentially eating a little bit and going right to bed because I got to be up pretty early, or at least earlier than what I normally am. It's not the earliest hour in the world, but at least they're paying for my gas. So that's nice. Any thoughts of the day? Not really. Today was kind of just a overall dull and boring day because when the weather sucks, and like the weather here has just been a fiasco. So really there's nothing new for me to talk about, but tomorrow, hopefully, when I have a little bit more energy and get off work at an earlier time, I can get a decent video made with the stuff I want to talk about then. But for now, unfortunately, no discussion today, so I'm going to call it. It's going to be a much shorter video, which some people might like. Unfortunately, I can't make magic, can't make poultry guys tonight, so I have to call it early. But we'll make more videos later. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace out and good night. fun, wasn't it? Yep, that's the full video. Full 6 minutes in between. If you skipped, that's fine too, because like I said, yesterday's video was kind of pointless, but wanted to make something, even if I'm not uploading that directly. Anyway, pardon me, breaking my rule of the canned pre-workout, but I need something. I didn't bring my actual pre-workout with me, and I wasn't going to chug it on the way back home because I knew I have to use the bathroom really badly. So stopped off at a local gas station and just picked 2 up because it's 2 for $5, and technically it makes more sense, but whatever. Anyways, it is chest day today, and then after chest day, I'm going to hopefully record an audition, and then I'm going to do my laundry because somehow I ran out of clothes really quickly. Wasn't expecting that. But anyway, I've been on the bounce a lot this week, so been doing a lot of running around, so I've been going through clothes like it was nothing. Anyway, let's get into the gym. So what I wanted to talk about today is gym etiquette, and a lot of it is common sense, but I figured I'd just talk about it anyway. Now, the first and one of the more obvious things, at least in modern gym culture, is recording at the gym. And you know me, I like to make sure that if I'm recording at the gym, I keep people minimally in the background. Not so much that I think they're ruining the shot, because they're not. I'm the one in the way when I'm recording. No one else is in the way if they're in the shot, because the gym is a public area. But I just want their privacy respected. I'm saying that as there's 2 bros in the background, 3 now. Like I said, there's no issue there. I have no problem with them being in the shot. But I just want to respect their privacy, which is why I tend to try and find as many areas as possible where I can kind of isolate myself. However, saying that, that comes to how packed a gym is, because obviously I can't be hogging equipment just to get some shots in. Like, if I can't get a shot in, well, then so be it. It's just not getting recorded, or I'll find another way to record it elsewhere, or just do it again at a later time. Because like I said, the gym is everyone's space, and you can't be hogging up equipment. Obviously, you got equipment that you're using, first come, first serve. But if the gym's crowded, supersetting and triple setting, quadruple setting, things like that, that's fine as long as there's not people waiting for you to finish up. Because if someone's wanting to use that machine too, especially if you're supersetting in a busy gym, you just got to hand it over. I mean, like, say, hey, let's work in if you don't mind, of course. But if you already have one machine, trying to hog more than one or multiple is just absurd. The gym is for everybody, and to just hog the equipment, in my opinion, obviously isn't okay. And I think a lot of people agree with that too. And then the most controversial one is slamming the weights. Now, if you're deadlifting, I get it. Deadlifting is hard, especially if you're trying to get a lot of weight up. But if you're benching dumbbells, don't throw the weights on the ground when you're done with them. Like, I get it, 100 pounds is a lot, but at least try to be more gentle when putting those weights down, because you don't know if someone's going to be walking by. Because you're like, when you're benching dumbbells, or in general, you're in the zone, and you don't want to risk hurting someone. Just be careful. Okay, so yeah, that's the chest workout, and I was tired most of that workout, but I still got a good chest pump in, and that's ultimately what matters. I don't think those initial cable flies were that solid. If I'm going to be honest, I think they were kind of one of my weaker workouts. That was kind of more of a warm-up, though, we can say. But once I got onto the dumbbells, truly, that's when I was in the zone, and like, that was just it. So yeah, that's why I love dumbbells much more than like anything else, because I really truly feel the pump when I use them. But anyways, I'm running to the store right now because I need to get some ground chicken. Like I said, I can't be going to American Chicken Bunker anytime soon.
But I would, man, I'm craving that right now. They just have good. They have, honestly, I know someone said, do you want quality or do you want it fast? Honestly, I think they're both quality and fast, if I'm going to be honest. Especially when you're in the mood for that. Man, American Chicken Bunker, you just can't beat it. But right now, like I said, I'm going to go to the store, get some chicken for myself. Going to cook that later after my audition. And I don't know if I'm going to get wraps or not for it. I might. It's a heavy might, but I don't know. I might just make a meat bowl. And my one friend, she recommended me put, I don't know, it's a Mexican topping. She thought it would be a good idea. I have to watch the macros on it though. I hope it's not too much. She said it's not too bad, but we will see if I can even find it or if I have to make it. If I have to make it, I'm going to have to do that another day because that's going to, from what I saw with the ingredients, it looks amazing, but it's going to take me a little bit. But anyways, I got to get to the store and I will see you guys there. And now I'm officially home. I wound up just getting some light lunch meat. I just wanted to do something simple today because I did. It's not hard to make those tacos, obviously, but I just didn't want to turn on the heater and then potentially wake everyone up. But I did get the audition done, so that was nice. The audition went really well. It was a very simple audition, so that was perfect. But anyway, what did I want to talk about today? That's a good question. Because I obviously talking about gym etiquette during the actual training video, which I think is important to discuss. But then there's also the idea of, I'm not talking about gym etiquette here, because we were talking about I talked about video game music a little bit at work today with one of my coworkers because we were just looking for things to talk about. But I already talked about video game music. Of course, I can do a longer discussion about it. And I made a new friend today because we were also talking about video games. Like, video games really can bring people together. And I think that's what's important, is finding the things we care about that will bring people to us. Like I said, I made this random friend today because we were talking about video games and how I said I was excited for Clair Obscur Expedition 33. He said he played it, but it was a little too overhyped for him. And I said that's why I watched only a few video game clips or video clips of it. And I watched some reviews, obviously, and I just said, I know that's a game I'm going to love. And he said, yes, that's exactly how you should go into it. We also talked about Monster Hunter a little bit, too. And obviously, Starship Troopers got brought up because we talked about Helldivers. I haven't played Helldivers 2 yet because I don't have PlayStation Plus. But I think that's like a really cool thing, is finding ways to bring people together through what you're interested in. I mean, that's obvious, right? But how much of us are willing to actually talk to someone else and see that what we have interest in? I don't think a lot of people do. I think people are becoming more shy and more isolated, which is unfortunate because I think it's great to find friends who have similar interest in what you do. But how are you going to know that if you're not willing to go up to people and talk to them? Sometimes you just have to be willing to break the silence. I literally walked up to him and I said, hey, I remember when I used to have long hair, and that's where the conversation started. Sometimes you have to break the ice in some way. And I know I've made a lot of friends by discussing my love of Poultrygeist and the Chicken Den, because that movie, like, the fan base is so big it makes Avatar's numbers look small. But Poultrygeist and the Chicken Den actually has gotten me a lot of friends because we're fans of that production company, Troma Entertainment. Troma Entertainment, like I said, it's one of my favorite movie production companies of all time, full stop. Can't take that away. And so it's not just my love of Poultrygeist, it's my love of Troma, the Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, Classman Dick Mahai, Troma's War. I love Troma's War. That's a very underrated action film. It shows that they can do action, and for the smaller budget that obviously would have had, it's a very solid movie. I thought it was great. I think that's one of the most underrated films. I don't know if there's I think someone said that the version that was released was cut down, even though the version I saw was still pretty violent. I think the only Troma movie I don't love, especially if everyone else does, is Surf Nazis Must Die, because I felt like there was literally two separate movies that just kind of collide together. And now keep in mind, I love movies and stories where it's two different perspectives. In the end, they clash, but they didn't feel like they naturally came together. It just kind of felt like it happened. But still, an overall really good movie. Like, I can see why people like it. And I think another thing is I wish it was more violent, as weird as that sounds, because it was pretty tame, all things considered, especially when it comes to trauma films. Because that was a movie that was released by Trauma, but it wasn't like made by Trauma. Another one that was actually really good is a movie called Combat Shock. But I'm just talking about Trauma now, and as opposed to what I want to talk about, which is making new friends. And one thing I like about making new friends is, like, one of the ways I actually weirdly make new friends is I invite them to what I call bad movie night, where we just sit around and scroll through Tubi and find something random that we've never heard of before, with cover art or poster art that does not resemble the final product at all, because the movie was probably shot on someone's home video camera. But those are my types of movies, because that's clearly someone who's having fun making their movies. Are they good? No, probably not. Are they entertaining? Sometimes even no in that as well. But as long as they're having a good time, I can find the charm in it. And sure, it might torture other people, but once people once you get to know these people, once you get to make new friends, they will understand. Be like, okay, this is just his take. This is just his perspective. This is why he loves these types of movies. And they might find a charm in those bad movies too. Because everyone's seen, The Room and Plan 9 from Outer Space. Even though Plan 9 is not that bad. Let's be real here. It's definitely not Ed Wood's worst movie. It's not even close. But how willing are we to actually move over a little bit? How willing are we to actually, expand ourselves out there, to be willing to actually talk to people, to make these new friends? How nervous are we really? Because I think we can get pretty nervous. I don't know if that's just how society is, because we all look at our phones all day, because a lot of us talk through text and not through, one-on-one conversation, which is a damn shame. But I mean, sometimes it is fine to you make friends online. That happens. That's fine too. But when we're out in the real world, actually conversing with people, we have to be more willing to just go up and talk to people. I mean, you obviously can't be a weirdo about it, but making friends with a stranger is what it's all about. That's how you make new friends. And sometimes you make new friends by another friend just introducing you to someone else. Like my friend Xavier. He's friends with my friends from church, and they met him through me, and he's considered one of the group. And when it comes to my young adult group, I made those friends by proxy of knowing the minister of that, and them bringing me in. And then I made more friends with that. And then, you branch off to make even more friends. Now, you have to make sure that the friends you make are actually there for you, or not there for you, but obviously somebody you want to spend time with, not just a person who's taking up space, because that's not a real friend, is it? So if you don't connect with someone, that's fine. There's just times where that happens. That's no big deal. Is it unfortunate? Of course it is, but we can't connect with everybody no matter how hard we try. I struggle with that every now and again. Because I know my personality is not for everybody either. And that's okay. It's okay if you're trying to make friends with someone and they just don't like you. It doesn't mean they hate you. It just means that your personality just doesn't match what they're looking for. And that just happens, man. That just happens. And that's perfectly fine. There's no shame in that. Never feel bad about not being able to make a friend with a new person. Because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you just don't connect with people emotionally, spiritually, personality-wise. But don't be afraid to reach out to people. Because this is also how, relationships happen. Getting a girlfriend, boyfriend, getting married. You can't be shy. You gotta just go out there and do it. You gotta just talk to that person. You gotta make those friends. And remember, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver, and the other's gold. Anyway, I gotta make my supper tonight. I'm gonna go to bed. Actually, gonna make my supper, eat that, play a little bit of video games, then go to bed. Anyways, tomorrow's back day, which is my favorite day. And I have to still do the laundry crap. So I gotta get started on that. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.